Black by day and red by night was how Elihu Burritt famously depicts the landscapes of the 19th century Black Country. An industrial heartland built on the four fundamental raw materials of limestone, iron, coal and clay.
The brutal living and working conditions that people endured in the 19th century, it's hard to imagine these days, especially on a nice sunny day like today. But the importance of this region to our industrial heritage can't be overstated. And on this Travel Edition's Escorted tour, we're about to dig deeper and learn more.
One of many tours offered by Travel Editions exploring our great British heritage, this two-night break is based at the 4-star Copthorne Merry Hill Hotel in Dudley. It includes visits to some of the region's best museums and 2 guest lecturers sharing their knowledge and insights. Accompanying us throughout was Dr. Malcolm Dick, a man with a passion for the region and the heritage.
A lot of people from outside have a very negative image of the Black Country. There's the alleged story of Queen Victoria pulling the curtains of her train when she went through Tipton. And it's probably in the last 50 years that there's been a determined effort to create representations of the heritage and means of exploring it and preserving it, but also to project it into the present and future, not just to pickle things in aspic.
Our first full day was spent visiting some of those museums. First, the fascinating Leather Museum in Walsall.
Now, the Black Country towns were producing from the times of the Industrial Revolution all manners of ironwares from their foundries. They were making chains, bridges, even the modern motor car.
The afternoon was spent at the twin sites of the Stourbridge Glass Museum and the famous landmark of the glass foundry Red Cone. Accompanied by on-site guides, we learnt more about the glass-making process, as well as witnessing the skills of contemporary glassblowers. On our second evening, we were joined by a familiar face from TV, antiques expert Paul Atterbury.
I talk about the canals and waterways and of course how crucial they were. We couldn't have had an industrial revolution without canals because they gave it a transport system which wasn't there. And so I like to think that people see how all these things mesh together.
For many of our group, a day at the Black Country Living Museum was a highlight. Brought to life by costumed interpreters, it's brilliantly done and covers everything from the coal mines and forges of the industrial age right through to the recreations of 20th century street scenes.
This is Harry Morrell's Gentleman's Outfitters, and in this street you're in the 1930s.
Morning, fasting day 8.
I didn't know much about the Black Country at all, so I've learnt a lot, and yeah, anyone who's interested in industrial history, I'd definitely recommend this tour.
It's being able to come to these places, which you might not otherwise go to, without having to worry about planning your accommodation, planning your route and planning what you're going to go and see.
Thoroughly enjoyed it, good company, lots to see, very interesting. Nice hotel with good food. What more can I say?
Everything, all the content's great, very interesting, where we're taken. And the itinerary is good, always good.
Towards the end of the afternoon, we gathered again at the canal for a final group activity.
Well, this is a perfect example of how the excursions and lectures work in harmony with each other on these tours. Last night we had Paul telling us about the canal network and giving us the context and the detail, and now we're about to experience it by going through the Dudley Tunnel.
But the arrival of the canal prompted a rapid increase in mining activity, and at its peak, the Dudley mines produced over 100,000 tonnes of limestone a year.
We've had a great few days here in the Black Country. I've got to say, an educational tour like this is such a brilliant way, not only to explore the region, but also to learn, to absorb and appreciate in more detail the importance of our own heritage.